Each mod on Nexus has a files section. The Mod Manager download option, if set up properly in the previous guide, downloads the mod to MO's downloads directory. The archive is then displayed in the Downloads tab, which can be double-clicked to install it. Once installed, the mod appears at the bottom of the left pane where it can be activated. This option is not only helpful for some, but necessary if Mod Organizer and Nexus are having issues linking to each other. Selecting Manual Download downloads the mod's archive to your system's default location. From here, there are two options. Leave the archive where it is. From MO's toolbar, select the Install from Archive icon. In Explorer, navigate to the mod and double-click it. One of MO's various install option windows will open. Using this method makes it easy to lose track of the archive and/or accidentally delete it. The preferred manual method is to navigate to where the archive was downloaded and drag and drop it into MO2's Downloads tab. Not only will the archive appear there, but a copy is added to your Downloads directory as if you had used Mod Manager download. This option can be applied to any mod archive. If you delete a mod from the Downloads tab, it is also deleted from the Downloads directory. If cleaning up the tab, consider hiding the archives instead. You can view archives that you've hidden by activating the Show Hidden checkbox at the bottom of the tab. Deleting mod archives is not advised because many mods, at some point, may no longer exist due to authors removing them. Delete mods with caution. If you can help it, don't delete them at all unless you are sure that you will never use them again. From the Steam application, expand Community, select Workshop, search for your game. Once you come across a mod that you want to install, you have to subscribe to it. Once subscribed, run the game launcher from within Mod Organizer. Wait for a synchronization message to appear in the bottom menu and let it complete the process. Once complete, exit the launcher. Scroll to the bottom of the left pane and open Overwrite. Notice the Steam files are now located here. Close Overwrite. Right-click it and select Create Mod. Name the mod accordingly, then select OK. Activate the mod's checkbox at the bottom of the left pane. If you run the game launcher after a Steam mod has been updated, its new files automatically download whether you want them or expect them to or not. If a Steam mod is activated when the launcher is run, without warning, it auto-updates all of its files, deleting the old ones. This can cause all sorts of issues mid-playthrough. To avoid issues with Steam mods, after you install one, unsubscribe from it so that it cannot auto-update. Doing this may not be appreciated by the mod's author, but it is the only guaranteed way to protect your save file in load order. Find a mod on Bethesda.net that you'd like to use. At the top right of the page, add it to your library. Run the game via Mod Organizer, and at the main menu, select Mods. After signing into your account, select a single mod from your library and download it. Agree to all of the prompts, then close the game. The mod is now an Overwrite. Right-click Overwrite and create new mod. Name the mod accordingly, then activate it in the left pane. If you have multiple mods downloaded to Overwrite at the same time, instead of creating a new mod, right-click in the left pane and create Empty Mod. Name this empty mod after one of the mods that are now in Overwrite. Open Overwrite, then drag and drop the files from a single mod into the new folder. Repeat the process for the rest of the files until Overwrite is empty. Since the mod is now installed to MO, you can and should disable the mod via the main menu mods option. Do this to not accidentally surpass the game's plugin limit by having mods loaded from a source outside of MO. When downloading mods from other sites, archives have to be installed manually. Use the aforementioned manual download procedures to install them. Different mods and different download methods cause various windows to pop up during installation. Here we cover what those windows mean and what to do in them. This window opens when installing a mod for the first time that appears to be properly packaged for installation. Cancel cancels the installation. OK is generally what you want to choose as it installs the mod as the author packaged it. Manual opens additional installation options, generally used if you are aware that a mod is packaged improperly, a folder is missing, or the mod structure is incorrect. The window that you are presented with represents the archive's contents exactly how the author packaged them. From here you can organize files and folders the same way that you would in Explorer by expanding the arrows and dragging and dropping items. Deactivate a checkbox so that none of the files and folders within it are installed. Useful if a mod is packaged with multiple options. If you receive the error message, no game data on top level, right-click the data folder with the checkbox next to it and select Set Data Directory. The error message should change to a Looks Good message. The other right-click option allows you to undo Set Directory by right-clicking the top-level data option and selecting Unset Data Directory. At any point, select OK to install the mod or Cancel to cancel the process. If installing a mod that MO detects as being packaged improperly, the Install Mods window will open. This is the same window that opens when selecting Manual from Quick Install. With these mods, you'll notice the No Game Data on top level message. As previously mentioned, right-click the data folder, the one with the checkbox, and select Set Data Directory. The error message should change to a Looks Good message. If it doesn't change, expand all of the arrows and search for the proper top-level folder to set data directory for. Select OK to install. In rare cases, due to how a mod was distributed, you may need to rebuild the directory entirely. Some mod pages offer multiple archives. These extras could be updates, hotfixes, optional resolutions, so on. The situation that I present here is, if you have already installed your first archive from a particular page, and you now plan to download and install another from the same page. During installation, at the Quick Install window, select OK. The Mod Exists window will open. From here you can Merge, which I personally use the majority of the time to clean up my left pane, adds all contents from the additional archive to the existing mod of the same name, merging the two together. If any files are duplicates, generally updates, the files being installed overwrite the old ones. This also leaves personal changes that you have made to the mod intact. Think of this as an addition to a mod that is already installed. Replace, which is generally not recommended unless you have a sound reason to do so, completely replaces the original mod with the new archive's contents. Think of this as a full reinstall. Rename, which enables you to rename the archive that you are currently installing, allows archives from the same page to act as two separate mods. This is the safest option. Cancel cancels the installation. Some mods have installer windows to allow you to manually choose options and customize the mod to your liking. Generally, these installers work no differently in Mod Organizer than they do in any other manager. Make your choices and install the mod as normal. Game-specific mod installer pop-ups are covered in the specific game notes and WIP guide. Load order generally refers to the order in which plugins are loaded into the game. Mod Organizer not only manages load order for plugins, but also for assets. The plugin load order is displayed within the Plugins tab. In general, MO's plugin load order works like every other manager. Drag and drop to arrange them, or double-click their priority and type the priority number. Both options move all other plugins accordingly. Right-click in the Plugins tab to enable all visible plugins, disable all, or lock individual plugins in place so they can't be moved. If you want to see what mod a plugin belongs to, highlight it. The mod will also be highlighted in the left pane and on the scroll bar. Hover the cursor over a plugin to see its enabled masters or what master files it's missing, if any. The Vanilla Games main plugin, not necessarily DLC, should always remain in the game's data folder. Mod Organizer gives it lowest priority and grays it out so that you can't move it. At the top of the plugins window is a Sort button. This button runs an internal loot master list to sort your plugins. MO2 automatically checks the official loot list for updates. The only reason to launch loot from MO2 would be to use its UI features. MO even stores personal user rules created via the loot interface when it has been run through MO. Mod Organizer allows you to arrange mod assets in the left pane just as you arrange plugins in the right. Loose assets in the left pane overwrite duplicate assets with a lower priority number. A mod at priority 10 overwrites duplicate files in mods at priority 9 and lower. While mods with higher priority overwrite lower priority mods, they do not delete anything. This means that you can drag and drop mods into different priority slots without ever having to reinstall them. Like the plugin load order, you can drag and drop position or double-click the priority number and change it manually. The Archives tab, and how archives function in general throughout the program, is currently being worked on. For now, what we need to know is that archives, BA2s and BSAs load into the game first using the plugin load order in the right pane, and then all other assets load into the game using the left pane, top to bottom priority. Once MO's archive features are updated, the video will be updated to include them. One of the most useful, unusual, and initially troublesome features of the asset load order is the overwrite mod. It is called the overwrite mod because it does in fact act like a mod. It maintains the highest priority of all mods that are installed and acts as such. Others call it the overwrite folder because it acts as an import dumping folder for new files that are generated by applications run through Mod Organizer. If you run a program through MO, such as Xedit, to create a merged patch, the output of the application run through MO appears in overwrite. You then have to right-click overwrite, select create new mod, and continue on. You can also open overwrite and drag and drop files inside to a mod that already exists in the left pane. Once a file exists in your load order, if recreated by a program run through MO2, the program locates the original and edits it accordingly. New files created by the same program are added to overwrite so that you can see exactly what is being added to your load order. In this situation, simply drag and drop files into their proper folders. A note via al12, an MO2 developer, is quoted in the pinned comment to further expand upon this. Third-party applications and additional overwrite information are covered later in the series. What we need to understand here is the importance of keeping overwrite empty. It's easy to unintentionally overwrite files in your load order and to accidentally delete something in overwrite that a current save file needs to function. Always create new mod, or drag and drop the files to an already existing mod is shown. If there is anything in overwrite, the warning, yield icon, at the top right of the interface lights up. Selecting the warning presents you with a problems window informing you that there are files in your overwrite mod. There are very few exceptions to this rule, and mods that make them mention it in their descriptions. You can delete files in overwrite by right-clicking them, but unless you are absolutely certain that you don't need the files, you should not delete anything here. The mod information window offers not only information about a selected mod, but also provides some important features. To open the information window, in the left pane, double-click a mod, or right-click and select information. Text files. The left pane lists all text files in a mod's directory, such as readmes. The right pane allows you to read the selected document and to add, remove, and save whatever you like. Be sure to select save. Ini files. Lists every ini file located in the mod's directory. This includes game ini file tweaks and script extender inis. These tweaks override your default ini settings, but only when the mod is activated, allowing for implementation of specific tweaks on a mod-to-mod basis. The ini tweaks window should be ignored for now. Images. Displays image files packed with the mod. Optional ESPs. This tab offers the ability to hide or reveal plugins that are packed with the mod. This is beneficial for mods that contain optional plugins that you may want to use one day, but are currently deactivated and taking up plugin space. It allows for merged plugins to be hidden instead of deleted. It allows for patched mods with identical plugins to be able to hide the original, but still keep it readily on hand in case you remove a patch and need the original plugin to be reinstated. To hide or unhide a plugin, simply highlight it in either the optional ESP's hidden window or an available ESP's load order present window and select the up and down arrows to move them. Conflicts. Shows each and every file within the selected mod that is being overwritten by another and that the selected mod is overwriting elsewhere. Information as to how many conflicts the current mod is generating, how many conflicts other mods have with this mod, and how many non-conflicted files is also provided. In the top window, if the current mod is overwriting a file from another mod and you don't want it to, you can right-click a file, select hide, and the conflicting file will be hidden. Very helpful for those who are trying to manipulate what textures they want present in-game. We cover how to unhide files in the File Tree tab. If you double-click a conflict, you will be brought to the mod info window of the mod it is related to. Categories. Allows you to change the mod category that is displayed in the category column. Nexus Info displays all of the text that is on the mod's Nexus description page. It also displays the mod's meta information, mod ID and version number, both of which can be edited. Notes allows you to write notes for the mod. A notepad icon is then generated in the main interface flags column. File tree displays all of the mod's contents, including files that are hidden in the MO-generated metadata. You can edit the file tree the same as you would from Windows Explorer, except that you cannot create text files from this window, only new folders. You can open files from here, extremely useful if you are someone who edits textures, as well as rename, delete, or hide and unhide them. If a file has been hidden, you can search through the file tree until you find the appended extension .mo hidden. Right-click the file, select unhide, and the file will be reinstated, overwriting conflicting mods with lower priority. Meta information is mod info that MO has queried Nexus for, mainly to inform you about mod updates. If you aren't concerned with update notifications via Mod Organizer, you can skip this section. Missing meta info has no effect on the game whatsoever. Double-click a mod, open the Nexus tab. Here is the meta information: mod name, mod version number, and mod ID. If meta information has not been collected from a mod, a warning yield icon is displayed in the Downloads tab in front of the mod's name. To attempt to retrieve this info, in the Downloads tab, right-click the downloaded file. Select Query Info. If a select window opens, you have to select the correct Nexus ID option for the mod. This ID corresponds with the final numbers of a mod page's URL. If the correct option isn't provided, select Cancel. If a window opens asking you to please enter mod ID, simply open up the mod page to verify what it is and type it in. Again, the ID corresponds with the final numbers of a mod's URL. If a window opens asking you to select the correct file from the mod page, being that many mods provide more than a single download, select the appropriate file from the list. In the end, meta information can fail even after following these steps. Reasons for this can be that the author is not assigned a version number, the mod's download page has more than 30 options to download from, and your option was not detected from the first 30, or the file was not downloaded from Nexus. This section may only be beneficial for some. If you skip this section, at least take note of the Open in Explorer option. To open the context menu, right-click a mod. Selecting all mods opens a secondary context menu where each option affects each and every mod. Install mod is the same as selecting the archive icon from the toolbar. This opens Explorer to allow you to install mods that aren't visible in the Downloads tab. Create Empty mod creates an empty folder that can be used to create category borders, as an application's dump folder, so on. Enable All Visible activates every checkbox in the left pane. Disable All Visible deactivates every checkbox in the left pane. Check All for Update queries Nexus for mod updates in endorsement status. Refresh refreshes MO. Export to CSV exports your mod list to a .csv file which can be opened in Excel. And selecting a mod highlights all conflicting mods, if any, as well. This section covers the context menu for individual mods. Change Category allows you to add the mod in question to specific mod categories. Primary Category sets the category title displayed on MO's main interface. Rename Mod allows you to rename the mod. You can also click the mod a single time to highlight it, and then again to rename it. You can also push F2. Reinstall Mod deletes the current mod in its settings, then reinstalls it as if downloaded for the first time. Remove Mod completely removes the mod from your system. This does not affect the archives in the Downloads tab. For this option to work, the original archive has to be in MO's Downloads directory. If the archive is missing, you will be notified. Endorse Unendorse allows you to adjust your endorsement of the mod. Won't endorse removes the not endorsed flag, heart with a question mark, from the chosen mod. Ignore missing data removes the missing data flag, red X, to ignore that a mod is missing recognizable game assets. Visit on Nexus opens the mod's Nexus page as long as meta information for it is present. Open in Explorer opens the mod's MO2 mods directory folder in Explorer. As with the context menu, information in this section may be helpful for some but not others. If you'd like to skip this section, at least take note of the flags and priority columns unless you are familiar with them. The column bar hosts each column. Right-clicking the bar opens a context menu. Deactivating any of the checkboxes removes the respective column from the interface to clean up information that you don't care to see. Mod name is the name of each mod that's installed. Remember that you can choose to rename mods. Clicking the mod name header sorts the mods alphabetically for browsing purposes. Mods installed via Mod Organizer have a checkbox. You can activate and deactivate mods here without completely removing them. If you use Shift plus click or Control click to highlight a number of mods, you can push the spacebar to toggle the active state of the entire selection. Mods installed to the game's data folder that MO detects, such as the official game content, do not have a checkbox and are always active. Flags are icons that inform about conflicts, endorsement status, and/or potential issues. Lightning bolts. Lightning bolt flags indicate that a mod has at least one loose file conflict. Bethesda Archive conflicts will have their own flags. Green plus signs indicate that the mod is overwriting another. Red minus signs indicate that the mod is being overwritten by another. Both a plus and minus sign indicates that the mod is both overwriting another mod and being overwritten. White lightning bolts indicate that the mod is being completely overwritten. Generally, these mods can be deleted unless you think that you may remove a mod overwriting it. Red X indicates that the mod doesn't contain any recognizable data. In addition to the red X, the name is grayed out and italicized. If you are certain that you want to keep this mod despite MO telling you that it's unusable, which there may be rare cases that you do, you can right-click the mod and select Ignore Missing Data to remove the flag. Heart with a question mark indicates that the mod has not yet been endorsed. Notepad indicates that you have added personal notes to the mod. Content informs you of what each mod is comprised of via icons. Hover over the column header to receive a drop-down explaining to you what each icon means. Category. If your mods have category tags, you can click the category column's header to sort your mods by category for browsing purposes. NEXUS ID displays the NEXUS ID of each mod. Sorting by this column allows you to see what mods are oldest, lower numbers being older mods. The ID is set to 0 when detection fails. Version indicates the mod version. If the number is green, then you have the newest version available. If the number is red, then you don't. However, this can be misleading as some mods use older files as their main file. Installation lists the date and time that you installed the mod to Mod Organizer. Priority, probably the most important column, indicates the priority in which the mods are loaded into the game. When done looking through the columns, make sure to sort your mods by the priority column, lowest to highest, so that you are viewing the actual load order. The Data tab is a list of everything that MO2 will attempt to load into the game. Once archive parsing is implemented, there will be some majorly helpful updates made to this section. Currently, you can add executables, as is covered in the third-party apps guide. Open files via supported programs, useful for me to quickly open textures in Photoshop or meshes in Nifscope. View conflicting files marked in red. Red meaning that the file name exists in multiple mods, but the mod at hand is the one that actually gets loaded into the game. View hidden files marked by a strike-through. Hide and unhide files by right-clicking and selecting the appropriate options. Write the entire Data tab and all of its information to a text file. You can later open the file with any document reader. And finally, and potentially the greatest Data tab feature, is the Preview button for DDS textures. Right-click a DDS file, select Preview, and you can see exactly what texture is being loaded into the game. Some particular types of compressed DDS are not supported. Supported files are .text, .dds, and the usual image file formats such as PNG and JPEG. This feature has plans to be expanded upon. Here I answer a few questions that I've been asked multiple times over the years. None of the available installer plugins were able to handle that archive. If you receive this error message, the archive that you are trying to install is most likely corrupt. Many times, simply re-downloading the mod and trying to install it again fixes this. If it doesn't, you may need to repack the mod into a new archive, removing any information within that is unnecessary, such as FOMod installers. Assure that MO and Nexus are linked as shown during installation and setup. Open Mod Organizer's installation directory. Locate nxmhandler.exe and launch it. Assure the supported game is pointing to the appropriate Mod Organizer executable. If the path is correct, highlight the game and select Register Active, and then Yes. If the game is not pointing to the proper executable, or if the game doesn't appear, right-click within the NXM window and select Add. From the Select Supported Games window, select the game that this instance of MO is being used for. In the Binary window, select the ellipsis. Browse to the Mod Organizer exe and double-click it. Back at the dialog window, select OK. Select Register Active, select Yes, and then Close. If you still have issues, open Settings, and then Workarounds. Change the NMM version to correspond with the current Nexus Mod Manager or Vortex version. The version numbers are on Nexus, as well as at the top of the managers themselves. Changing the number may or may not solve the issue, but it has in the past. At the bottom center of the interface is a drop-down menu. Make sure No Groups is selected. The other options don't allow mods to be rearranged. This has been a GamerPoets tutorial, Mod Organizer 2, Mods and Management. If you aren't familiar with the channel, be sure to check out the pinned comments for various notes that arise after the video has been uploaded. A few of your own comments may even be added there as well. I am Michael of GamerPoets. Thanks for watching.